Alright, good evening everybody. It is Studmin here, and we are back continuing Starfield, chartering the free lanes. Let's see where we... Yeah, we left off doing the UC Vanguard. Still going to do that, but I think I am going to start... If I can continue that simulation still, I want to... So you have to get the skill points to use the... But I wanted the ability to pilot, obviously, B ships and then C ships. So I may at some point, I don't know if it'll be this stream or the next one, is work on that, because I'd love to pilot other ships. I feel like there's lots of ships, different ones to pilot if they're, you know, the different types are better, so that I think is going to be a focus at some point. Where did I forgot to get closer look. I was just try 15 ships for rank 2. For rank 3, I guess. Okay. But I'm also in the progress of doing the grind for weightlifting currently to... Let's see how it's available, so I'm at a standstill on that up until I get a skill point, but trying to get the max amount of carrying capacity I can, because I loot literally everything and need all the space I can literally physically can get. I want to go check too, because I want to... If the guy's out, looks like it's nighttime. Oh, then I is there. Talk to see what different kind of ships this guy has.
You should inspect your ship for heat leeches every couple.
Or vehicles. I just have the Rev 8 so far. Oh, those are mine.
I'm sure you can find something you like.
So, and if there's Hall, it looks like a half decent one. Kiffer. Rambler, I think I've got the Rambler in a different playthrough because you need the jump. Gladius looks pretty cool. These I think are all just different colors. Yeah. Okay. Back to the ship.
On deck.
Off we go. Drive initiating in 3, 2, 1.
This is UC Security. Prepare to be scanned for contraband.
Perfect. Right close by.
Captain! Over here! The workup's in the cabinet's hands. They said they'll call for us once they've gotten to properly review it. But listen, I know I should have been more forthcoming about who I was earlier. So, in the interest of full disclosure, there's one more thing you ought to know before we head up there. My relationship with the UC. It's more complicated than it might seem at first glance. The UC's actually the only reason I'm here in the first place. I am a clone of a man named Francois Sanon. One time admiral of the UC during the Colony War. Former head of the UC Navy. They called him Ve Victus. Woe to the defeated, in Old Earth Latin. A title he earned. The program I was a part of, it was the UC's attempt to create a new generation of military minds from one of their most respected tacticians. Secure the leadership of the UC military for generations to come.
More interested in what this has to do with us addressing the cabinet. I mean, it's
kind
of an interesting little...
My father was executed for acts he committed during the war. The man caused a lot of death on both sides.
Twist, because, you know, the lore, just that he was executed for death, and, like, I thought for sure last name, like, she's related to him, but didn't expect it to be a clone, so that's kind of an interesting plot twist to this storyline.
Collective aren't really on great terms to this day. So my involvement, it could be another obstacle they throw at us up there. I just wanted you to be forewarned.
Yeah, you're not your father. If the cabinet doesn't see that, it's their problem, not yours.
I really appreciate you saying that. I just thought you deserved to know, considering how much you've done already. You know, while we've got a second, was there anything else we needed to discuss? I know you got dropped into the middle of this pretty fast. Or if you've got any last-minute business to attend to, now might be a good time. No telling how long the cabinet's gonna keep us waiting out here.
Yeah, it's gonna be your eyes are red. Is that a result of the cloning process?
That's actually a souvenir from my time on Mars.
Yeah,
The Red
interesting.
Devils unit I was a part of. They were founded by recruits who'd worked some of Mars' deepest mines. Folks used to adversity. The dust at those depths, it seeps into everything. The human eye included. Where the name Red Devils came from in the first place. It became an unwritten rite of passage that anyone wanting to enlist with the Devils had to do a stint in the mines before they could join up. The Devils were always talked about in such revered tones during my training, so as soon as I was old enough, I signed up. And the eyes were my parting gift.
Yeah, I think I'm good. I don't have any questions.
Then I guess it's just a matter of...
The cabinet meeting is about to begin. All parties, please proceed to the cabinet chambers.
Sounds like
Okay, let's go.
Ah, welcome. You must be the captain Hadrian mentioned in her report. You have our thanks for the risks you faced in securing this information.
Adrian has made it clear that addressing this issue required the utmost urgency.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Yes, well, precisely how urgent is what I hope we'll determine here today. So now, we have two petitioners here making a surprising request. Access to the UC Xeno Warfare Team's Terramorph data, currently housed in the Armistice archives. A request which will require not just this body's agreement, but that of all 3 armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun.
Ooh,
Now,
shit.
Captain, we've all read Hadrian's report on the subject, but we have yet to hear from you. Perhaps you could summarize for the Cabinet what it is you see as the goal of this endeavor.
We need the archival data to find a way to stop a possible terramorph apocalypse.
That's quite the leap, Captain. Madam President, I object to the very premise of this meeting. While no one would argue that what happened on Tau Ceti was anything less than a tragedy, terramorph attacks are not some sudden new threat on the horizon. They've been happening for generations. To demand we hand over banned archival knowledge and possibly upset the balance of galactic diplomacy because of a single attack seems at best panic. And at worst, a power grab by the daughter of a bloodthirsty warmonger and her associates.
I would
Simmer
remind the
down,
Chief
buddy.
Diplomat who he's speaking to. If it's my father you're looking to address, you're welcome to consult a medium. I would also ask, how many deaths the Cabinet requires to act? 50? 50,000? Because if tragedies like Tau Ceti are just prelude to more attacks, I have no doubt you'll get the body count you require.
Let's keep this civil, shall we? And while there should be no doubt the preservation of life stands paramount among this body's duties, Chief Yassine has a point. Will a single attack, however troubling, be sufficient to convince the other factions to grant us access to what they no doubt consider weapon data? I don't think it's enough. Perhaps you can help, Captain. As the one who actually collected the sample in question, did this terramorph seem at all alarming to you?
It wiped out a colony that never saw it coming. That is pretty alarming.
That is worth considering. This attack took place on an almost completely uninhabited world. The casualties were minimal as a result. But if there's another attack, will we be so lucky?
Yes, a fine point, Admiral. So then, Captain, given the discussion now and the information you've been privy to thus far, if you were in our position, would you grant the request made to open the archives?
If there's a chance what happened on Tau Ceti can happen elsewhere, we need to grant the request.
I'm uncomfortable opening the archives without gathering more information. However, if that's the path forward you prefer, then so be it.
I'm inclined to agree.
As am I.
I suppose that does get to the heart of the point, doesn't it? Very well. I consent. The galaxy was lucky you were here today, Captain.
You and I are in agreement, Chief Diplomat. So, if there are no other objections, I believe we can agree to give our full backing to make the request to...
Oh shit.
What was that?
Attention. Attention. An incident has occurred. Facility lockdown engaged.
Incident? Chief Sarkin, what's happening?
There's been an attack at the spaceport. Terramorphs.
Shit.
Terramorphs. More attacks. Just as predicted.
Good God.
Damn it. They're here. Now.
There must be another explanation. The creatures evaded our scanner somehow.
There will be plenty of time for conjecture later. Chief Sarkin, order the evacuation of the spaceport and have your men contain the things, but do it discreetly. The last thing we need is a citywide panic.
Yes, ma'am.
Admiral Logan, the local barracks can provide support?
I'll make the order myself. Nearest anti-Xeno squad, though, is off-world. Going to take a while to bring them in.
Well then, we'll have to make do with the tools we've got. You two, we can't risk those things getting out of the spaceport. I want you both on the next train there. We'll let them know you're coming and that you've dealt with these things before. Now go show them how it's done.
We're on it.
On
then.
it.
Captain, I'm right behind you. Let's get down there.
it.
You! That's the EM rifle, grab it!
Oh shit, okay.
Stop! We're trying to help you!
Click the EM weapon. Ooh, okay.
That's it. Now hit.
With everything you've got. Bad luck for you.
Nate.
Thank you for what you did. We didn't want to hurt them.
The way those people were acting. I've seen this before. They were under the Terramorph's influence, weren't they?
I don't know. They were down at the port and they just started screaming. We tried to restrain them, get them on the train to get them out of harm's way, but with some of the other officers down there, we couldn't restrain them fast enough. They just started firing on us. People we knew. They went berserk.
Pheromonic projection. Some Terramorphs, they can induce this fog. It affects everyone differently, but some people just lose control, turn against everyone around them, even if they don't want to. They're like a puppet. You kill the morph, you break the hold. But this means we're gonna need to be real careful with our fire, and keep that EM weapon at the ready. Let's do it.
Nat's unlocked. Please, do what you can to help them.
Okay, well, quick favorite of the EM Equinox, because we're gonna need it. Pull this back.
My God, no time to waste,
Evacuation order has been issued for the spaceport district. All citizens are required to pursue shelter.
You might back up! Don't just stand there!
We've got the remaining creatures locked down on...
5,000, Jesus Christ.
landing pad, barely holding our perimeter. They said you've done this before. No? One fire team to spare and whatever supplies you need, but I can't risk them taking over anymore. Put those things down and do it fast. We hold them as best we can.
Okay. big one out.
Going to be okay. It's not real. Whatever you're experiencing right now, it's not real. You have to put down that floor.
Tripping.
They're going to turn on you. Kill them. Kill them first.
Target down. Nice work.
Guess they weren't kidding about you.
Froze for a second.
You guys put the right people in the right place. Certainly doesn't feel like it. I don't want to think what would have happened if you two hadn't been here.
Just glad we could rise to the occasion. Captain, we should report back to the President. Let her know the Terramorphs have been dealt with. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
Sprint, sprint.
The spaceport has been secured. Safety precautions remain in place. Please wait for the all-clear signal before exiting your home.
Okay, it is working, so I'm still good.
Whole building's on lockdown.
That's a relief, Captain. Hadrian, it would appear that the Cabinet owes you our thanks for what you did for the city today. As well as an apology. Your concerns about the Terramorphs, well, consider them validated.
Thank you, ma'am.
Agreed, thank you.
Of course. I only wish we could have acted sooner. Now, today's events have only clarified our path forward in the eyes of the Cabinet. You will have our full support in collecting the Terramorph data from the archives, as well as a subsequent investigation into the nature of these attacks. But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the right people in the right places. As such, the Cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian, effective immediately, to your former rank of Major. As soon as we've got the data in hand, we want you investigating these attacks and how to stop them. Will you do this?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I'd be honored.
Excellent. But as you've both made clear, for such an investigation to succeed first, we're going to need someone to convince the Freestar Collective and House Varun to play ball. Someone who knows precisely the sorts of dangers the colonies and all the galaxy are facing right now. The Cabinet wants you, Captain, to be that representative.
If you're sure that's the wisest course of action.
We do. In exchange, we're willing to fast-track your citizenship upon collection of the data. So, will you help us?
You can count on me, ma'am.
I'm glad to hear it. Now, we, of course, won't be sending you in without the proper support. Deputy McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar Affairs will be your guide on gaining access to the archives. You should be able to find her in her office across the hall. And on behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our thanks. You're dismissed.
The next time Terramorphs rear their ugly heads, UC is going to be ready.
Vanguard, Captain. You... Yes, sir. I'll make sure they get what they require. That must make you my Vanguard Captain. Welcome to Interstellar Affairs. I'm Deputy Chief Diplomat McIntyre, Chief Yassine's second-in-command. I heard you were instrumental in protecting the city from the attack. You have my gratitude. I was also informed that you gave quite the presentation to the cabinet. Chief Yassine wants you to know the Interstellar Affairs Office is fully committed to this endeavor, accessing the Terramorph data and beyond. We're going to do everything in our power to make sure you have the tools you need. And that means first getting you into the archives. You do know what the archives are, correct?
They're the repositories for all the banned data from the colony war.
Someone paid attention in current events. So, then you also know that it was originally managed by the 3 major galactic players. Access to the archives is only granted in cases of dire emergency, and requires a one-time use code from each of the 3 Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun. Now, the UC is already on board, so that means we'll need to convince 2 people. The ambassadors of the Freestar Collective and House Varun to hand over their codes. Get them both and you'll have your data. But that's a lot easier said than done.
You think they'd be clamoring to help after the spaceport
I
attack?
couldn't agree more. However, both ambassadors have reasons they won't, or can't, work with us. Now, I'll provide guidance on how we believe you can acquire each code, but ultimately, it'll be up to you to get them both to cooperate. And I do mean cooperate. Threats and violence are off the table here. Though that doesn't mean we can't get creative. But it does mean we need to get you up to speed on who you're dealing with. Who do you want to start with? Ambassador Radcliffe of Freestar, or Ambassador Balmore of House Varun?
We'll start with Ambassador Radcliffe.
The good Ambassador Radcliffe. She's a veteran of the Colony War, and her only goal in life is to make ours miserable. Now, officially, our office is suggesting you try and negotiate with her. Use your experiences as a member of the military and with the threat we're facing to convince her to lend her support. And who knows? Maybe that'll work. Stranger things have happened. But my suspicion is we're going to have to rely on other tools to get her code.
Okay. So, alright, tell me about these other tools then.
Certainly. See, good diplomacy is all about the careful application of pressure. We just need to find the squeeze. UC Intelligence has a recording device planted in the ambassador's living quarters, which we suspect you can use to your advantage. But getting caught trespassing is a quick way to land yourself in an embassy holding cell. So, if you are going to try and access the device, you're going to need to find a way in there without being seen. Now, we recovered some intel we believe should be able to help with that. But there's also a disgruntled staff member you might be able to pump for information. Maybe even convince to work with you.
What can you tell me about this staff member?
Name's Cameron Long. He's younger than Ratcliffe, bears less of a grudge towards the UC. He works closely with the ambassador, making him a promising source for information on the ins and outs of embassy life, and someone who very likely hates her guts.
Good to know. So that's all the info I need for the moment on Ambassador Radcliffe.
All right. Here, your diplomatic ID. I'll give them a heads up you're on your way. Not likely to let you through the door otherwise. And take these. Chief Yassine wanted you to have some options on how to proceed in there.
Okay. So now tell me about Ambassador Balmore of House Varun.
Ambassador Balmore's a challenge. When the rest of House Varun retreated into seclusion shortly after the signing of the armistice, Balmore stayed here. He's since lent his support to a small number of archival requests, so there's real hope he might again. though claiming to know how a member of House Varun thinks is a quick way to earn yourself a psych eval.
It sounds pretty promising.
It does, but there's a concern. We're not 100% sure Balmore is actually still alive. His public appearances were always rare, but it's been several years now since he last poked his head out.
Shit.
Scans of the facility show life signs, but not the kind we were expecting. Your task is to find him and kindly but firmly remind him of his duties under the armistice.
I'll track him
I have no
down.
doubt. Now, the embassy front door isn't an option, but our spies have stated there's a side entrance that should allow you access. Here, this device should get you all the way down to the embassy interior. Once you're inside, though, finding the ambassador is going to be up to you. And fair warning, we received a report that alarms might have been tripped inside the embassy during the attacks. Watch out for automated security in there. Now, if you have additional questions
Noted.
or require clearance for a new approach we haven't already discussed, don't hesitate to ask. I'd suggest you start with Ambassador Radcliffe. Approach her while the attack is still fresh in her and her staff's mind. Be smart out
Noted.
there, Captain.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Definitely an interesting questline so far for the UC Vanguard.
Maybe we should stop for a moment at the memorial. You know, to pay our respects. Hard to believe it's been 2 decades since we were at war with the Collective, and it seems like only
I can't remember. Self-doubt. Reduce critical hit chance, speech chance, success chance. Yeah, fuck. Raise enlightened to empath, extrovert.
Visitors are only allowed in the lobby, offices, or...
I'm going to be upfront with you. I'm not happy visiting anything related to the Freestar Collective. But you lead, and I'll follow.
UC never fails to disappoint. I just wish I hadn't received the news from an SSNN broadcast. We have a strategic advantage to maintain, Mr. Long.
Of course, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Excuse me. Are you supposed to be in here?
Guests can make themselves comfortable.
I'm sorry. Do you have an appointment?
I'm here on behalf of the United Colonies. We need the Freestar Collective's help.
Ah, you're the one McIntyre called about. The eyewitness. She said you were at the spaceport. You have my thanks for what you did down there, truly. Saved many lives. Now, she also mentioned that, and maybe it was just a bad connection, that now the UC wants terramorph data from the Armistice archives, some of the most highly guarded information in the galaxy, in order to protect us all. I can only presume you're here to tell me I misheard her and that they didn't send you, local hero, to futilely beg on their behalf. Tell me I've got that right.
You heard correctly. We need access to the archives.
I was afraid of that. Let me be frank, Captain. The answer is no. That information is there because it is dangerous. I will not be the one responsible for its release. Now, why don't you quit wasting my time and yours, and go.
Persuade. Please, Ambassador, just listen to what I have to say.
Really gonna push this? All right, I will give you one chance. One to convince me. Understood.
Thank you, Ambassador. You just have to hear me out.
I'm listening.
You were a soldier. It was your job to protect, and that's what we intend to do with this data.
I suppose you're right. Our job and our responsibility.
How many lives are you willing to risk here because you have a grudge against the UC?
You think this is about a grudge? This is about safety, and that's not something I take lightly.
What happened here and in Londinian could happen in the Freestar Collective unless you help us.
Londinian. They had to abandon the planet. But that couldn't happen again.
There are lives at stake here.
The cost of being wrong is a high one. Well, Captain, you make some good points. But if I'm really granting you access, I'm gonna need the following concessions. Your access will be limited. You can only take out the items related to stopping these terramorphs. The monitors will make sure of it. You go in once, you get everything you need on your trip, and never again. And all research done with the data will be monitored. If this data is being used to save the galaxy needs to be involved in the oversight. Freestar scientists will watch your people like hawks. So, do we have an agreement?
Agreed.
Excellent. Follow me. They tell me it should only take a moment. And there. Here, I'll reach out to Deputy McIntyre. We'll coordinate the necessary oversights. Two unlikely allies, I guess.
Two unlikely allies. Acquire House for Runes archival code. Okay. Looking awfully abandoned in here.
This isn't what I expected at all. It appears the flora they were using as decor has overgrown the entire embassy. It'd actually be more fascinating if its branches weren't blocking our way.
tripping out big time. And same issue. Fuck off. Close. There we go. we'll say.
You said.
Yo. Okay. Say. Damn, there it is. See ya.